Bonjour, everyone. Hi. This is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to the Spiritual Roundtable. Is it Monday? I think it is. It feels like Monday. Oh my goodness. Yes, welcome to the Spiritual Roundtable right here on Star Nations Organization's main fan page at Facebook. And this is my daily, actually Sunday through Thursday live stream show. And welcome. It is a gorgeous day here where I live in Tomah, Wisconsin. That's in the northwestern part of the state. It's sunny and breezy, blue skies. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And if I could do it, I would do my show out there on the deck. The only problem is mosquitoes. They're big, and there's many of them. So welcome. Today is a really kind of interesting energy day, I think. It's kind of been a busy day here. We had one of Mom's new caregivers in for the first time this morning, and she did really, really well, and Mom seemed to like her quite a bit. So, but that took a lot of my attention this morning, and so it was a different kind of energy flow. But before we get started with the cards, I would like to take my phone and share out. Oops, I said that S word. We're going to sprinkle the show over to my news feed. Try not to say the S word. I don't know how I'm going to do with that. Spent the last, 4 years? 2 years for sure. 2 years for sure saying that other S word. And so it's a bad habit to break. So I'm going to sprinkle it on over to my news feed. And I invite you to do the same. Even if you could, do a like or a love, that would be really great. So I'm just going to remind my friends that I'm live streaming. And there we go. Then asking them to come out and play. In the live chat. There we go. And we're going to get that posted. I got a couple things I wanted to share with you guys before we get started rolling with the cards. And first, there's a fun one. I'd like to share with you guys. A whole bunch of my friends are over in Michigan, in Yvette, Michigan, and they are at Great Lakes Retreat. And the Great Lakes Retreat is spiritual teachers teaching classes on a college campus. What happens is the Great Lakes organization, what they do is they take over the small, tiny little private campus, and it kind of becomes like adult Hogwarts. It really does. I kind of miss being there. I haven't been there in a few years. But it is so much fun. It really is. To be able to study, take some mini classes, to take a series of the entire week, because it's a week-long retreat right there on a college campus. And they even do their meals at the cafeteria, and it's really kind of cool. If you haven't been, you can look them up online. It's a Great Lakes Retreat in Yvette, Michigan, and just check them out. If you haven't ever been, you might want to consider going because it's fun. One of my favorite things is karaoke. They have, it's like at the end of the day, you've had dinner and you've been to the lecture hall and that kind of thing, and popcorn, karaoke, good conversation, and then everybody's off to dream time around 10:30 or so. It's fun. It's fun. And my plan is eventually one day I'm going to be able to go back there and maybe take some classes. I used to teach there, and so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So I'm going to check out to see who's all in the chat here. Julie Shumway Hill's here. Hi, Julie. It's good to have you here. Oh my goodness. And one of my sisters, Christine's here. Christine, oh my gosh, it's so good to have you here. And Rochelle's here too. She says, hello, Neshi. And I'm saying, hello, Rochelle. She says, my last few days have been screwed up. I thought today was Saturday. Well, even without pain medication, I've been that way. I mean, get the day, because a lot of the days are very much the same for me. And so it's like, what day is it? And here is Stephanie saying, please seed the light of Star Nations to friends and family so they can grow with you. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Stephanie. Julie's here too. Julie Hedges. Hello, Julie. Sprinkled and shared. Please remind why we don't say shared. Oh, sure. Absolutely. And by the way, I really liked your short video, your live stream video yesterday. Yeah, it was really good. It was like, what, 15, 20 minutes about? That's perfect. Perfect. I enjoyed it. So why we don't say that S word anymore? Well, one of my mastermind groups, I go to two of them, one for the magazine and one for building live stream, right? And we were talking about sharing, because we've been saying, please share and post for 2 years, some people for 3 years. And what they have noticed is that Facebook actually no longer supports using that term, because there were so many people doing it, and then bots started putting out messages about that. And so they want to make sure, supposedly, Facebook would like to make sure that we actually communicate with our communities here on Facebook. And so whenever they hear or see the word shared, the demographics on how many times we're seen in or placed in the newsfeed has dropped. And I can honestly say that, well, there's also some changes that Facebook's made again. And that always plays around with our numbers and that sort of thing. And I have noticed a decrease. Now, is it significant? In some cases it is. In others, it's like, oh man, we got to break a bad habit. And so that's the main reason. That's the main reason, because we want to reach as many people as we possibly can, right? And so we're trying to come up with a different terminology that means the same thing. And some people here wanted to use like a different language, like whether we use Potawatomi or Ho-Chunk or Gaelic or something like that. And which is fine. I just have to be able to pronounce it and then explain what that is. So here's something. What you can do is do a hashtag, the £, right? Write the word nugget, and then whatever word you think would fit to be able to share out the live streams to other people. And mainly it's those of us who share to different groups and that kind of thing. If you share like to friends or something like that, that's great. Any kind of sharing is fine. But that's the reason, Julie. I know. I got to play within the rules sometimes. Coloring outside the lines every once in a while is not a bad thing either. Hey, sprinkled, yes. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you. And Stephanie is saying Facebook is stopping videos and people from hitting the algorithm if they use the word share in text or voice. Basically, FB is slapping people's hands by asking them to like and share. I know. They were encouraging us 2 or 3 years ago to do this, and now they're discouraging it. And really, some of it has to do with not knowing if it's a human or a bot, right? Yeah. The misuse of bots. So, it just puts us into a creative mode, right? So to be able to create our own way of sharing and reaching other people. So yeah, why don't we put our heads and hearts together? I'm sure we could come up with something, right? I just have to remember to say it. Julie says, thank you for the reminder. It was fun to do that short cosmic conversation. I know, that was really good. I don't know if any of you guys caught that yesterday afternoon, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. Okay, so there's another thing I'd like to mention to all of you, and that is if you have the Star Nations magazine and you tried downloading it and it wouldn't download because you already have a subscription or you already purchased it, um, or if you have you already have a subscription and you went to go download your magazine, got it downloaded, but now none of the maybe you're having some glitches in it, okay? It's not you. It's not operator error at all, okay? Not at all. And it's not even Apple or Google's problem, which, is also good because sometimes dealing with their support staff isn't always fun either. But here's the breaking news about that. And I wanted to share this with you all today so that just in case you are experiencing some challenging or difficulties using the app for the magazine, it's because our partners at Magcast, and they are the partners that convert our text or PDF into digital, okay? So for your phone and for your tablet. They were hacked late last week, and late Thursday afternoon, and they caught it. They caught because they were contacted. Oh, I got to sneeze. Live on air. Oh, excuse me. All right. What does that sneeze mean? Right when I'm talking about something really important. All right, so the hackers contacted our partners and demanded payment to release the servers. Yeah. And so the servers that hold all of our magazines and some of the technology, not all of the technology. Yep. And so our partners are dealing with it the best they can, I think in a pretty brilliant way, actually. And so they're hoping that they'll have everything back online by Wednesday. Because they've never been through this either. And so it's kind of like somewhat of a trial and error. They are in contact with other large companies that have been through the same thing. And so at least they're getting some other people's experience and what worked and what didn't work. So, so if you have the magazine, we say apologies, but there's really not much we can do about it until the servers are released. Now, those of us who have magazines with our partners, we were concerned about our information, right? Not just our financial information, but also our personal information. And we were told that all of the personal information and financial information is encrypted. And the encryption is guaranteed. Okay, so we don't have to worry about our information being held by ransom or anything like that. That part is fine. What they're holding is actually the technology to the magazine. That's what they're holding. And so I know it's kind of like a modern day out west, when they had stagecoach robberies and train robberies and that kind of thing. It's the modern day version. And so when I was talking to one of the owners of Magcast last night, he says to me, he says, now, Yvette, because he calls me Yvette. He says, Yvette, now, I know that you and your community, you guys are a lot of light workers and energy workers out there. And he says, any prayers, any good thoughts, any good vibes headed our way is much appreciated. And so, just to do a prayer, a shout out for Magcast and all the tech people who are working on having our magazines released, and that a lot of love surrounding it, raising that vibration, right? Raising the vibration, and so that everything gets released and in a good way, right? Yeah. And so the thing is that they're diligently working on it, and they've taken it extremely seriously, and so yeah, so we can help out by sending them good vibes their way, right? Yeah. Okay. So Rochelle. Oops, I thought I hit Rochelle's name. Ah, you did. Okay. She's saying, Julie, your video was great, and I know, wasn't it? It was terrific. I liked it a lot. Rob's saying, late but here. Oh, I know. Mercury retrograde, right? And and this hacking that happened to our partners during Mercury retrograde. What is that? Right? Tech people are going nuts. I know. So when I talked to one of the owners last night for Megcast, I was very grateful. I told them that I really did appreciate, not just what the owners are doing, but what all the tech people are doing, and literally working around the clock, trying to get this thing fixed. And yeah, so what the feeling I had, I don't know about you guys, but this is the feeling I had. It was kind of like, the tech people are kind of like frontline people, right? In a cyber war. And, and they're working as quickly as they can. I can just imagine fingers flying across a keyboard and trying to, be faster than the other person so that they can get certain codes in, right? Yeah. So if we can at all help in raising the vibration around not just Star Nations magazine, but Magcast company, we'll be able to help them at least be in a better vibration, right? A better vibration. Yeah. So Rob is saying, what happened to them? Okay. So I just explained it, but I can give it to you again in a nutshell. Okay, Rob? Is that on Thursday, late Thursday afternoon, our partners at Magcast, they're the ones who digitize our PDF for tablet and for the phones. They were hacked, and 4 out of 3 servers are being affected, and the hackers are demanding ransom. It sounds so funny. I know it's not, but it sounds funny. And so, of course, they're not going to pay this. They're not. But what they are doing is putting all of their energy into technology and into the tech people, companies that are geared for this, right? They're known for their good work in this. And so that's what they're doing. And so they're hoping that they're going to have everything released. What they're holding are the magazines, the technology to the magazines. They don't have the coding or anything like that. That is safe. The creativeness and the coding and all that, the programming is still intact. They still have that, but it's all of the files and all of that. So they're working on it. Yep. So hopefully we'll have an update hopefully on Wednesday. Oh, that's too bad. He says his day hasn't been much better. Rats, huh? Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, but they're working with some really good companies to try to help get our stuff released without paying the ransom. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're sending them good vibes. Lots of love their way. Yeah. All right. So let's get to the cards, huh? I have to tell you, this is our last day with this deck. Yeah. When I was drawing the cards this morning, I got the nudge. So this is the last day with Spirit of the Wheel meditation cards. The author is Linda Iwashina, and the illustrator is Jody Bergsma. Copyright 2006. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday. I was just going to start the show, and I got a call, and I said, "Oh, it was from British Columbia, right?" And I only know 2 people from British Columbia, and I'm thinking, Deb wouldn't call me. She would she would send me a text message or something like that, but she wouldn't call me. We arranged that by Skype, right? And but it was one of the owners from Magcast was calling me. All right, so the first card. The first card. We haven't seen this card in quite a while. All right, so here's the first card. Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon. It's the 24th stone in the creation of the medicine wheel that the author uses. And it's a 6, right? 6. It's all about turning point, preparation, and gathering. Turning point, preparation, and gathering. And it looks like to me that in the center is a dream catcher, right? If we can get the camera to focus here. Surrounded by power animals, we've got deer or elk and bear and eagle and wolf. All right. Turning point, preparation, and gathering. You know, and we also have eagle feathers on Dreamcatcher there. Let's see. Harvest Moon. We had Harvest Moon, oh gosh, it had to have been last month in June. And I think this is maybe only the second time we've had this card. I just thought of something. Rats. I forgot to take my allergy medication today. No wonder why I'm feeling the way I am. And the sneeze. Because as much as I enjoy the weather out there, because it's gorgeous, but it also means that the allergy or the stuff is in the air. All right, so this is the Harvest Moon. The dates go from August 23rd to September 22nd. It says that the Harvest Moon teaches us the art of preparation through the act of gathering. This card signals a time of abundance. Your work has paid off. The harvest is now full and ready for gathering. Decide how much to enjoy, share, and store up for the future. You may need to gather knowledge, courage, or even rest for the road ahead. Then begin preparation so you won't be caught off guard by the changes coming your way. Harvest Moon are very good at looking at others but tend to deny their own needs. Prepare your own way, for if you use all your energy helping others, you'll be facing a dry well. Enjoy the fruits of this bountiful time and gather up what you'll need for your future. So, you know, the last few days, the cards have all been about taking a little downtime, right? To recuperate, to do some daydreaming or dream time, taking a nap, taking care of yourself that way, right? Maybe some boundaries around it so that you take some personal time, some quiet time, putting yourself into a good time out, right? And so with this particular card, it's also talking about the same thing, basically, is that recognizing all the work that you've done and going through this last change that you did. And many of us went through a shift of consciousness, right? And when we do that, it takes some time in the integration to go all the way through that, to really gather all of that experience that you gained. And that becomes wisdom, because when we start applying it to our everyday life, right? Now, this particular card says that we're still in the gathering mode. We're still gathering all of the experiences, everything that we learned, right? Because we did a lot of work. We did a lot of healing work. We did a lot of work on to be able to use our gifts more. We've done a lot. And so what Spirit has been telling us is to rest up. Rest up for the next experience, the next life lesson, the next change, right? The next transformation. And so is to take some time to gather all of that. And what you're doing is you're preparing for the next. And here is the prayer for this one. Great Spirit, thank you for the gifts I receive in my life. I take this time to gather up what I need to prepare for the change to come. Yeah? Don't you just like that prayer? I do a lot. I'm going to say it again. That's how much I like it. Great Spirit, thank you for the gifts I receive in my life. I take this time to gather up what I need to prepare for the changes to come. Right? And the thing is that because we're two-legged, because we're human, and in this physical body, having this physical experience, right, is that we will continue to have experiences. We'll continue to have life lessons and changes. We'll continue to learn and to remember how to use our wisdom up until the day we make the transition back into Spirit. And I think that's why Spirit was trying to tell us, what was that, 4 weeks ago or more, when we all had that big aha moment about how we look and perceive life lessons, that when we change our perspective and how we change our stereotype about it, right? Get rid of the stereotype, that they don't have to be painful and challenging, right? They don't have to be. Because what we're being given is a gift. It's not something that's happening to us. It's something that's happening for us. And so when we can change our opinion, our perspective of what life lessons are, that it's really going to help us in not just in the next couple, but for the long haul, right? So that when we know that we're preparing for the next one, what is your thoughts and behaviors around the coming change, the coming life lesson going to be about? How are you going to perceive that? That's the question. Looking here. Stephanie says that card looks like the Wheel of Fortune. It does, doesn't it? You mean in the tarot deck? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Well, I guess, the dream catcher could be kind of looked at like the Wheel of Fortune because it's a filter for all of our dreams, right? It captures the bad dreams and allows the good dreams to come through. It sounds like a Neil Young song. It could be. It could be. Yeah, that prayer is pretty good. So do you feel like you're in the gathering mode? Do you feel like you're getting prepared for the next? Can you feel it on the horizon, kind of out there on the periphery? Oh my gosh, with 2 musicians in the house. Julie is going, big wheel, keep on turning. Oh my gosh. Okay. And this is the guy that started the big energy shift. Okay. I remember when we had this card. Now we've had this card a few times actually, right? And so it's Frog Clan. It's all about cleansing, release, and healing. And it's a 6 card. A 6 card. Number 6 again. I'm going to go and get the book in just a second. I just want to see what Dekaz says about number 6. Okay, rather than going off my memory. So with this particular card, the Frog Clan. The Frog Clan is all about they live on both land and water, right? They're adaptable. It says an overwhelming time. The Frog Clan card symbolizes the feeling of swimming against the current. When we are working against our own nature and allowing past worries to build, we need the Frog Clan to aid in clearing away the heavy emotional baggage. In this state of high stress, even the simplest of obstacles seem magnified. Release the pressure and heal yourself on all levels. Let the flow of tears wash away your pain and leave you feeling cleansed. The Frog Clan focuses on the healing that is needed by you or by someone close to you. Teaches us to connect the healing powers of water, which is the emotional flow within our lives. Okay, so when I read this information and reminded myself, right, about Frog Clan and how this time around it's supporting that first card. And really, I believe that Spirit is saying, we've done all this really good work, and is to remember our life lessons that went along with it, right? And all the healing that we did. And so now we get to put our wisdom into application. So when we begin this next experience, is to remember to allow our emotions to flow. And when we feel like crying, whether it's because we're sad or hurt or joyful, is to allow it to happen, right? Don't suppress it. Don't repress it, but to be in the flow of it and to express it as healthy as you possibly can. Because that is one of the things that is going to take us the furthest in this next experience, right? And to turn to the Frog Clan. Well, if you're feeling like you're having the need for that ugly cry, right? All right, let's see. I'm going to get caught up with you guys in the chat. Okay, hang on. Hey, Carol's here. Hello, Carol. Does that prayer refer to coping with health problems? It could. It could. Great Spirit, thank you for the gifts I receive in my life. I take this time to gather up what I need to prepare for the changes to come. It could. I think it depends on what's going on in each one of our lives, that we can take it individually, right? Yeah. So if that's what you need for yourself, that certainly is possible. I guess that was CCR. Rochelle says, I hope I'm happy to experience upcoming journey. Feel it strongly. Well, good. Set that intention, Rochelle. And Stephanie's saying, yeah, it feels like a lot of things are aligning and a lot of gathering is happening. Harvest season has begun. Well, it truly has, right? Because those of you who have gardens, vegetable gardens, you are experiencing a harvest, right? Oh my gosh. We had the best tomatoes yesterday. The best tomatoes. I made BLTs for lunch. And oh my God, those tomatoes are so good. Now, we didn't grow them. I don't have time for a vegetable garden, but what I do is that I find people over at the farmers market who just love gardening and that's what they focus on, right? And it certainly showed, because those tomatoes were something else. They were good. All right. And Rob is saying, it's been a harvest here. All is chaos, but I'm keeping things working best I can to keep our computers running. Good for you. Using all your gifts. And Darcy's here. Hello, Darcy. Oh, my goodness. It's good to have you here. She says, hi, just jumped in. So far, my path seems to be just this for 4 to 5 years now. Yeah. Well, the bigger the life lesson, the longer we're in integration. That's for sure. And then when we're coming out of integration, that takes some time too to do that gathering, right? To get to the applying the wisdom part. Yeah. And Julie is saying, I've seen so many of these guys lately, even on the hottest day ever, right outside the door of the deli I visited, on the hot concrete pavement, no water anywhere near that I know of. So he was really trying to get a message to you. Frog Clan. Frog Clan. Let's look at him again. And this guy looks happy, doesn't he? I even like that color green. Frog Clan. Yeah. Okay. And Jen is here too. Hello, Jen. Good morning from the land of Oz. Wow. OZ. It's good to have you here. Christine says, crying is a good way to empty out and renew. I know. It's like a pressure release valve, isn't it? And it helps us, I think, to really flush out, those emotional toxins, really. Even if it's a joyful cry, even if it's about a joyful moment, yeah, it's still an expression, right? Yeah. 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 Christine and Darcy know each other, right? Yeah. Okay, hang on just a second. I'm going to go grab a book about numerology. I want to look up number 6 just to make sure I have the right information. Oh, George. It's right underneath the table. He was on my feet. When I moved, he didn't like it. Okay, so I'm using Hans Dekaz, okay, numerology. I just want to look up 6. Oops. Passed it right up. All right, he says that the number 6 is the most loving and sacrificing of all numbers. It is the mother-father number, and it seems pregnant with love. That's the number 6. And if we're looking at a life path, number 6, right? It says you possess great compassion and you seek to be of service to others. You have concern for the weak and the downtrodden. You are a healer and a helper. You're capable of giving comfort to those in need, and you frequently offer a shoulder for others to cry on. Your task in life is to develop the tools necessary to be truly helpful to others, rather than to simply be a sympathetic ear. You must find the balance between help and interference. It's in your nature to take on responsibility. You often fill the void left by others. You try to maintain harmony within the family or group, balancing and fusing divergent forces. Generous and kind, you're often admired or even adored. You're humble, and yet you carry a deep pride. Number 6. Okay, so that's one way of looking at it. And the other one, you guys probably know this lady, Doreen Virtue, right? And her numbers. So we'll take a look at what she says about the number 6. Number 6 relates to earthly materials, such as possessions, planetary issues, and concrete tangibles. Be careful to balance thoughts or worries about the material with a focus and faith in the spiritual. Okay, so taking the meaning of those two, let's take a look at Frog again and Harvest Moon. Because Harvest Moon was a 6, right? It was a 24. It's about the turning point, preparation, and gathering. So it's no wonder why the author was writing about the gathering. You may need knowledge, courage, or even rest for the road ahead. Then begin preparation so you won't be caught off guard. Preparing your own. For if you use all your energy helping others, you'll be facing a dry well. So that kind of goes along with Dekaz's interpretation of number 6. And if we take into Doreen's virtues about number 6, it really is not confusing the material with the spiritual in your gathering, right? Have a balance of the two. Okay, and the 6 in this one, it's the Frog Clan focuses on the healing that is needed by you or someone close to you. By being empathetic and allowing others to freely express their feelings, you can offer the support they need. Never underestimate the power of compassion. So there is some balance here, is that to be there for someone else, but to be there for a little bit more than just a sympathetic ear. Maybe it is about applying the wisdom that you gained in whatever change that you went through, in the life lesson you completed. Maybe it's a possibility that you can start applying your wisdom by in your service to other people, right, as they express their emotions. Wow. Now that's a possibility. And Jen says, I love your readings. They always seem to resonate with the global collective energies. Well, thank you, Jen. I have to agree. And it's really my spiritual team that's coming through with this stuff. I get to be the conduit. Yay. Yeah, that's right. It is amazing. I mean, to look at, we got number 6 in 2 plus 4, and then just the number 6, right? So we're able to really take a look at that. Now, here's the last card, which is Big Winds Moon. That's hard to say fast. Big Winds Moon. It's about leadership, self-discipline, and psychic abilities. And it's the 18th stone in the creation of the medicine wheel, which is a 9 in numerology, and that's all about completion. Right? And so the Big Winds Moon goes from February 19th to March 20th. It says this card signals a time when you own your own psychic abilities are very strong. Your intuitions are very much in tune with your higher self. Allow this connection to help you on your path. You have procrastinated long enough. Stop self-sabotaging, as it is not only limits your potential, but feeds your insecurities. You are lacking in self-discipline. Call upon the courage of the Big Winds Moon to see your dreams and visions through to the end. Spirit is asking you to share the bounty of your life. Channel your creative inspirations and learn to flow with the spiritual energies around you. Take your place of power. Learn to trust in the greater plan. The Creator would not ask you to develop and share your gifts if you were not ready. Have faith in yourself and see your dreams through. Now, isn't that interesting? You know, that's the third card, right, that came in, and it really is supporting that first card. Because in the gathering of your experience and getting prepared for the next experience, we really have to take into consideration the wisdom that we gained and how to apply it, right? That's a part of grounding it to the earth plane, is in the application. And so the Frogs Clan card helps us to understand that we are more than just a sympathetic ear, that we can actually be of service to this other person or people. And yet we need to be able to have some boundaries in there, so we don't we don't give all our energy away, right? So that it's a balance. It's a balance of giving and receiving. So I think it's just a reminder to us that Spirit is saying that that we need to use our wisdom that we gained, because you know what? How we ground it to the earth plane is because it comes through our gifts, our wisdom, our spirit. We express our spirit through the use of our gifts. And so when we layer that with the wisdom that we gained, we learn how to apply our gifts, maybe in a different way, maybe in a deeper way, right? And so when we help someone else, when we use our gifts to assist someone else in expressing their emotions, you know, so we're being given the opportunity to use the wisdom in our gifts combined, so we can ground it to the earth plane. We're expressing our soul through that, and it all helps with our next experience. It's out there, it's on the horizon, it's getting close. Christine says, I love the kitty. I knew you would. Look at that. And is looking right at us, you know? Looking right at us. Okay. And then Darcy is saying, I need to heal, sit back and realize I need to focus on me for a bit. Yes, as I've been doing this, I've been getting back my gifts. Aw, thank you for sharing that, because really that's what Spirit has been telling us the last, 4 days, is that we need to take some of that quiet time to really gather in that information that we just went through, right? And they were also telling us yesterday is to do some daydreaming, or to be aware of your nighttime dreams, because our dreams, our dreaming is helping us to prepare for the next experience. Oh, yay. Thank you, Stephanie, for listing the upcoming classes. I really do appreciate that. All right. Christina is saying the big winds moon really speaks to me. Yeah. It's got a big energy, that's for sure. And Rochelle is saying, I've been receiving messages from my spirit guides, but it's in colors and soft, delicate music. Certainly different from me. Wow. And I can understand it being different for you, Rochelle, because look what you just went through, right? For those who don't know, Rochelle had knee replacement surgery. And so she's literally walking in a new way, literally. And I think that it's a different way of perceiving your spirit guides. So it makes sense to me. Rob says, when we don't take time for ourselves, it leads to resentment. Yes, it does. We don't need that. We don't need that. Darcy, it's been a crazy guess. It has. Yeah. Not so much lately. Mine was back in 2017, and all of 2018 for me was pretty much integration time. And 2019 has been really about the focus on the physical body, and doing like liver cleanse. That's what I'm still doing. And so, yeah, getting the preparation for the next, right? Yeah, and sometimes, Darcy, for me in 2017, it wasn't just a crazy ride, it was the crazy train. And you don't know how many times I heard that song on, AM, FM radio, or on, cable music. Crazy train. I haven't heard it in a while. Pat says, oh, hey, Pat. Pat's here too. Joining late. We'll catch up on the replay. Okay. All right. All right. So those three, I really do believe that spirit is helping us to understand that, everything that we went through and we learned or remembered, in this last go around of the life lesson and the changes that you went through, the integration that you went through or still going through, now it's time to take the wisdom that we gained and ground it to the earth plane, right? And how do we ground that? We ground that through the use of our gifts. And so when we are assisting someone else in their expression of their emotions, that we can actually apply the wisdom that we gained, right? That it's just not sitting up there on the shelf somewhere, that we're actually going to apply it and ground it to the earth plane. That's the part of that preparation of your next experience. Okay, so I'm going to show you all three cards, all right? And we've learned that when I do this part, it really is helpful if you call to your entire spiritual team, all of your guides, all of your teachers, all of your power animals, all of your totems, all of your angels, your entire team, all of your star ancestors, your ancestors. Get everybody to you, right? Bringing them close. It's going to get real crowded in here. And then take a big deep breath in just before, and I'm going to show you the cards, and you're asking your team to help you bring in as much of the information coming through the cards that's meant for you in an optimal way in all of your bodies. So you gather all of the information. You might not notice it today, but the information is going to be in your bodies at the ready, okay? So here we go. Big deep breath in. On the exhale is taking in the information coming through the cards that's meant for you. So we're seeing it in all of our bodies, not just our physical eyes. It's our physical eyes and so much more. And asking your team, your spiritual team, to help you to take in as much of the information that's optimal for you, right? Okay. So that when you begin to apply your wisdom that you've gained in your last life lesson experience, and you're an assistance to others as they express their emotional bodies to you, that you can ground your wisdom to the earth plane, using your gifts to ground it to the earth plane, expressing your soul through your gifts. And then with gratitude, being thankful for the opportunity to be able to ground that wisdom to the earth plane in preparation for your next life lesson experience, gathering even more wisdom. Yay, huh? It's a good one. Yeah, Ozzy on AM. Oh my gosh. I haven't heard that song in a while. But in 2017, every time I turned around, there it was. And it was trying to tell me something, right? Spirit was. So that was a good one. I enjoyed that. I have really enjoyed this deck. We've had some really good spiritual conversations through this deck. Very grateful to the author, Linda Iwashina, and to the illustrator, Lori Bergsma, right, for giving us a ally, a tool to be able to have these conversations. Right? Yeah. Near the top of the hour. You know, I would normally share with you the upcoming live stream shows this week, but we're going to change it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because there's something here that I hardly ever mention on the shows, and I'd like to take the opportunity to do that if that's all right with you guys. I would like to talk a little bit about the Star Nations Academy. And, you know, I shared with you not too long ago that Julie Shumway and I, she is our manager for Star Nations Academy. She and I, we're working on pulling together all the information and laying out the process for our online classes. Yes, online. We're actually going to have the very first class, fingers crossed, that we're going to actually do the first class in October, and it's going to be about sacred sound. So what I'd like to do is share with you the in-person classes that are coming up yet this year in 2019, okay? And so, oh gosh, in a month's time, next month, August 17th is Sacred Drum Making with me. We're going to be creating either an elk or buffalo hide drum, and that is a class or a workshop where you are the drum maker. I get to assist you and teach you how to make one, but literally it's about alchemy. We are bringing together seemingly separate elements and bringing them together to create a spirit, a new being that's going to reside in your drum. And so that's August 17th. And so if you're interested in creating and birthing your own sacred drum, please come. August 17th, that's here in Tomah, Wisconsin. It's an in-person class. And we also have on October 11th through the 13th is the second Awaken Your True Potential class with, it's actually a retreat weekend, with Polly Jo LeBay. And the registration for that class is coming up on, the last day is September 15th. But this is really a transformational class. It's a retreat. Yeah, it's a way to be able to kind of remove the blocks and debris that is covering up your true potential, your soul, right? And there's also a healing process in there as well. If you've never had an experience for healing with Polly Jo in person, this is the class to do it in. For those people who have taken this class with her, the last two, classes with her about this. They've walked away and have said it's life changing. That's why the transformational, right? That's October 11th through the 13th. And in November 15th through the 17th, is another class with me called The Journey to Remembering. And that's all about remembering how to be in your heart. And we are going to be doing some sacred sound healing in that class to help also to remove any kind of blocks or debris, and to be able to really live your life. Remember how to live it from your heart, right? That experience. And along with that, what we're going to do is we're going to be activating your Merkaba as well that weekend. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. All of that information for registration is available on our website at starnations.org if you'd like to join us for any one of those classes. Yeah. So any of the information that we shared today with the cards, if it resonated with you, my suggestion is to embrace it. Embrace it and to watch, see, sense, feel how today's energy is unfolding around you, and how this information can be helpful to you, right? And if it didn't resonate with you, you know what? Don't worry. Please don't worry about it. Maybe you're a messenger, and all you have to do is share the recorded show with somebody that you think would be that it would be helpful to them, whether they're looking for the information or maybe they're just looking for a spiritual community to be involved with online. So then you're all done. Done. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for the Spiritual Roundtable and our brand new deck that we're going to be using. Well, it's not like a brand new deck, but it's a different deck. I've got it right here. Would you like to see it quick? All right, so it is called Shaman Wisdom Cards. And I don't know if we have the first card or not, but I can at least show you the back of one, right? Shaman Wisdom Card. It's by Leitra, I can't say her name right. It's Leita, Leita Richardson. Leita Richardson. Shaman Wisdom Cards. We'll see how this one comes about. It's kind of, there's a lot of cards. See? All right. So with that, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, okay? Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi 4 until we see each other again. And I love you guys. Now we're going to try something here. I tried it yesterday and it didn't work too well, but here we go. We're going to use the backdrop. There we go. All right. See you guys tomorrow.